Hey everyone, welcome to the Small Screen Couch Commentary Podcast, where we watch your favorite TV shows, give you our thoughts, and ask for yours. I'm Alex.
And I'm Billy. We're excited to watch and rewatch the best TV shows from start to finish and hope you're ready to take the ride along with us.
We'll talk about the best characters and their stories, reveal some hidden gems, and look for you to do the same.
From sci-fi to comedy, drama to anime, we've got it all covered. So grab your favorite snack and we'll see you on the couch.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the Small Screen Couch Commentary. This actually marks the halfway point of season 1.
Sorry, it does. Yeah.
I honestly can't believe we're already this far into the season. I know for everyone out there, it has been just 2 weekends worth of episodes being uploaded.
You know,
but this has been a long time coming for us.
It has. It's been a lot of work for us too, because we're not professionals in the game of podcasting. So there was a lot of research. Not yet. I mean, it takes time to be professionals, but there was a lot of research, a lot of work being done, even with the first sounds and videos and everything, trying to get everything uploaded. That was a hassle that first week.
Yeah,
we thought
it was.
If we work ahead of time, we won't be such a hassle. It was a hassle. But
we're working out the bugs.
Yeah,
we're getting a better workflow. Things are going well.
And to be honest, I'm having fun.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. And I honestly, I didn't. It's crazy how every episode of The Boys, you think, that last episode was crazy. It can't get any more crazy, or at least, you know, the crazy level will be here. I don't know if it can get crazier.
Can crazier, or even just as a show, just better. But it does.
I think this one had less crazy moments, but I think the story of this episode was probably the best one so far.
Yes,
in my opinion.
100% agree.
And it's just it's awesome because, you know, every episode I'm liking it a little bit more. I'm really enjoying things.
We got them hooked.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of am upset with myself that I didn't watch the show sooner. You have been giving me shit.
I was
literally for years,
guys. I've been telling him to watch it at least 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, and there were other shows, either old ones and or newer ones, that I was just watching. And every time I'd be like, oh, yo, I'm watching a new show. You'd be like, yo, are you gonna watch The Boys yet?
Yeah, you should be watching The Boys before you watch this.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I think
I'll watch it after
Lost.
this. Not the whole thing.
But why would you go back to Lost?
I love Lost. Lost is a top 5 in my favorite shows of all time. I love Lost. Honestly, maybe at some point we'll get into like some quick bites of other shows. Yeah. Lost is definitely gonna be one for me. But yeah, I just love Lost. But anyway,
you should have watched The Boys instead of rewatching.
I'm glad I've watched The Boys now, or I'm watching The Boys now.
It just took us making a podcast to get him to watch The Boys. Yeah,
I know it seems like a lot, and it is.
Yeah.
But again, I'm really finding it super duper hard not to watch ahead. Like I kind of want to just binge all the rest of season 1 and 2 and 3. But I feel like it's going to take away from the experience that we're having here with the podcast.
Yeah, don't do it.
I'm going to remain faithful.
I'm even not doing that. And I've seen the show, so I could binge it. But I'm like, no, I'm going to watch along. Yeah, but I'm going to watch along because there's a lot I forget, you know, and everything.
Well, there's stuff that you're picking up, rewatching stuff that I'm not getting watching it for the first time. So it is probably better that we're doing it the way
I like the way we're doing it. Yeah, I do.
But yeah, this episode is called The Female of the Species. So the first thing when I thought about when I saw the title of this, do you remember the old sci-fi alien movie Species?
Kind of, yeah.
You're a little bit younger, so like I was young. I wouldn't say I was a kid, but I was like maybe 10, 12, I think.
Okay.
When the first one came out. So you were probably like, what, 5, 6 maybe, something like that? How many years apart are we? Are we 5 years apart?
We're 4 years apart, aren't we?
Okay, so yeah, you were probably like 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I don't know why, but that's what I thought of immediately when I saw the title of this episode was the old movie Species.
Now I gotta go watch it.
You probably don't.
No, I don't want to.
They were okay.
I wasn't going to.
No, you weren't. They were okay when they came out. There were I think 3 of them that were like in theaters, and then like some straight to DVD type spin-offs or whatever. But yeah, anyway, back into what we're actually
the
here
Boys
for.
Again. Yeah, we go off a lot on
you know what? I think we're doing a lot better with Tangent Land than we have in other
podcasts we've tried.
Yeah,
100%.
This episode was directed by Fred Toye, or maybe it's Toye. His last name is spelled
Toye. Touye. Now I like Toye.
Now you're getting crazy.
I like Toye.
Crazy. Yeah, his last name is spelled Toye. But he's also known for Fringe, another show that I've never watched but heard good things. Have you ever watched Fringe?
I have not. And isn't that the show that's kind of like Supernatural in a way?
That's what I've heard. A lot of people compare the two.
Yeah, so I think when I was younger and I was a bitter person, I was like, no, you're not going to be as good as Supernatural. But now like, I want to go back and watch it because it does look really good.
Yeah. Also, The Good Wife.
That's the presidential one, right? She's
like a
first
lawyer.
lady. Oh.
No, she's like a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
I want to start watching that show because I've seen clips of it on TikTok. Although, you know what's crazy? So before you would see like clips from TV shows or movies, and it'd be like 107 parts of a movie or like 30 parts of a single episode of a show. And so you could essentially watch a show. It'd be out of order completely.
Yeah, 100%.
But I saw clips of The Good Wife, and I kind of want to watch that.
It looks good. Yeah. The actress in that is good.
Also, Person of Interest, which I don't remember a lot about that show, but I remember hearing that it was decent. But then he also has some familiarity with superhero shows because he directed one episode of Watchmen.
The HBO thing.
Yes. Did you watch that?
Incredible.
Like, HBO is definitely the place to go for premium channel TV shows or like original series. And Watchmen is, I'm not going to lie, probably in the top 5 of all HBO shows of all time, in my opinion.
100%.
And there's some heavy hitters in there. You got Game of Thrones, you got Sopranos, you got The Wire.
Yeah.
Watchmen is up there. It's so good.
It's frustrating because that doesn't have a second season, and it won't. But
no.
It's a great series.
But you know what?
Miniseries.
I'm frustrated because it's like, yes, I would want more, but I think they ended it in a way that it works. Totally fine to just be a one-off thing.
Yeah, but they did have some of
like
those sprinkles in there. Like, we could do something later, but they're not going to.
They could.
But yeah, anyway, great show. So it's cool to see that he wrote in that because that's actually impressive.
Yeah. Well, he directed
it. Sorry.
The writer of this episode was Craig Rosenberg, who did Preacher. I think it was an AMC show.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Preacher?
No, I heard it's good.
I know the first or
like premise, I guess.
I watched first, maybe second season as well. Very good show.
I've heard. Also, a show I've never heard of, based on a true story.
I feel like I've heard of this just like in the past week. Actually, I don't know why.
Don't know. But then also, I think he wrote most of, if not all of Gen V. So obviously, the success of whatever he did here in The Boys, as early on as it was, I'm assuming he probably wrote more episodes in seasons 2 and 3, maybe, or maybe even more in season 1.
Yeah.
Then he went on to do Gen V.
Good, which we want to watch. So,
for sure. As always, this is your one and only warning. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I might have to make like a video thing where like big old spoiler just pops up.
You know, great minds think alike. Because
I also lie too.
It happens, but I think we need to get a sound pad on here of like a alarm.
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking the same thing. Dude, that's why we're doing this together. You know what I mean?
You didn't? No, you know.
Oh, hold on.
No, we're not doing it. We're not going back. We're not going back.
Boing.
But anyway, yeah. So spoiler.
Right, whatever, dude.
What were you snacking on this episode?
Snacking on this time.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets and French fries.
Classic. Okay.
Not from Mickey D's.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. That would
have been lovely. Mickey D's, if you want to sponsor us, I'll eat them every time.
Every time. Give me the heart failure.
Homemade. Put in the air fryer.
Yeah. Yo, they hit different when it's air fryered versus the microwave.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Microwave, they're soggy. Oven, pretty good. Air fryer though. Woo.
For sure. I was going with a classic. My favorite cookie. There's only 2 types of cookies in the world. This one's my favorite. That's chocolate chip.
The other cookie's an Oreo.
For sure.
Double stuffed, aka now just normal stuffed.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you last time I ate a single stuffed Oreo. But yeah, chocolate chip cookies, definitely my favorite.
Good choice. I love chocolate chip. Dipping in milk?
Always. I could not tell you the last time I ate a cookie without an accompanying glass of milk.
I've done it a lot, but you should have milk with it.
Even if they're homemade and they're like softer cookies, whatever, you got to have that milk in there.
Why is this milk?
I don't know. I don't know why this is milk.
It's not milk.
It's just the accoutrement.
The accoutrement. Okay. This one's going off the rails early. Okay.
So yeah, this episode I gave it a rating of 8.7. I mentioned
climbing the ladder.
Yes, I mentioned before we're gonna get into the 9s. I thought it wasn't gonna happen until later in the season. I think you're right. It might happen before that.
You're getting close.
We're getting close. We're climbing.
Yeah.
We're climbing. It's the Alps.
Yeah.
The mountain. Yeah, 8.7. What did you give it?
Very close to your score. I gave it an 8.6.
Okay, we're right in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Right in the same ballpark.
Incredible episode.
Super incredible. Man. Like I said, I guess the wow factor is it's still there for sure. There's some wow moments.
Yeah, there's a big moment.
Not
in the show.
quite as many as the past episodes.
Yeah.
But they're there. I think this one though was developing some more of the story and the plot and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
good character moments.
Some good character moments. A couple by your favorite guy.
Oh, yeah.
By Frenchie.
Frenchie. This is an episode where you get to see the softer side of Frenchie.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So the new character we meet here is, and it's weird because they don't actually say a name.
She's just the female.
The female. That's I think Billy is the one that calls her the female.
Yeah, I think so. At some point in the episode, just randomly.
Yeah, he's like, "Where's the female?"
Yeah,
or something like that.
So that's probably where they like, you know what? Let's call this episode "The Female of the Species."
Well, I've got a scoop for you.
Scoopity doop. Oh wait, we're not allowed to do that anymore. Sorry.
Yeah. Nope.
You know, it's funny. You didn't mention Becca. You didn't mention the girl in the beginning.
I did forget about Becca. Okay, well, hey, that's why you're here, bud. It's a team effort. It's a team effort.
I do a little bit of work.
Yes, I forgot about Becca.
Yeah, and a dog.
Yes,
there's a puppy.
Which I'm trying to remember.
Talk to me. MM
mentions Becca
in episode 3.
Right, and I think we forgot to bring it up before.
No, you brought it up.
Are you sure?
In last episode?
I don't think we did.
You did. You said, "Is this about Becca?" And you said, "Oh, it's a new person. I don't know who that is."
Okay, you might be right.
Remember how we mentioned he's a little bit older? Starting to go. Yeah. So they mentioned Becca. You probably don't know it's Becca, so maybe I kind of shocked you there.
Okay, so hold on.
But
this is the thing, and this is like just one of the great things about modern TV watching, but also can be a downfall. So they mentioned Becca in the last episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then mentions it to Billy. In the initial parts of this opening is when we see Becca. They don't make it clear that it's Becca, but I found out because I'm an old man and I watch everything with subtitles now. I feel like a lot of people do, but I legit do it because you don't watch subtitles?
I do sometimes, but I don't like doing it.
Oh, I can't not watch something with subtitles. I have to watch it with subtitles. It was born specifically out of when my wife and I first started, when we moved in together. We're very different TV watchers. I'm watching TV. I'm sitting there in silence. I want to watch what's happening. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to watch it and take it in.
Yep.
She's asking questions every 2 seconds. She's talking throughout the TV show or the movie or whatever.
Megan does that too.
Yeah. And so I had to put the subtitles on because while she's talking, I want to be able to hear what they're saying. But if I can't hear, at least I can read it.
Understandable.
Right.
I do it when the show feels like it's a quiet show and I can't catch everything they're saying.
I do it with everything.
Can't do that.
But anywho, so with the subtitles,
it says Becca.
It's either through that or like something through like when with Amazon they mention that it's Becca.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know if that's spoilery or not for me as a watcher.
No, that's Becca.
But yeah, so
also played by, I can't remember her name, but she was in One Tree Hill for a very long time.
Never watched One Tree Hill.
I love One Tree Hill.
I think that I was a little, that ship had already sailed for me. I was a little older.
Yeah.
When One Tree Hill was popular.
You were OC.
So OC was the One Tree Hill of my generation.
Yeah.
Never watched that either.
Me neither. Never watched it. One Tree Hill was
those types of shows just didn't get me. OC or Dawson's Creek or any of those like teenage angst type shows or like young adult, I wasn't into that.
Me neither, but One Tree Hill had basketball and that's what hooked me and then I was in it.
Okay. So those are the two characters.
Yep.
There were some connections here. We already talked about one, which was Becca being mentioned in the episode previously.
Yeah.
And I just want to, I don't want to gloss over this, but I want to talk about, so the episode opens and it's Billy. It's clearly a flashback. He doesn't have the beard.
Clean shaven. He's got a nice haircut.
He's got some scruff. He's got a haircut. He's more put together.
Yeah.
And it's Billy and Becca in bed and they're just, they're making love.
It's very sensual. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not hitting that.
I wouldn't even say it's sensual. It's romantic.
It's romantic.
It's a romantic lovemaking scene.
Yeah.
And so this is clearly a flashback. They're there. They're happy. Billy seems happy. Genuinely happy, not like the fake happy that he is around people when like someone dies or he's taking advantage of someone.
Yeah.
Genuinely happy dude.
Yeah.
But we finally see then that it's a dream. Billy wakes up. He's in his room. His mattress is on the floor.
Yeah. Do you notice the dog cage is still there?
The dog cage is still there.
Yeah.
So it's clear that it was in the same room, in the same apartment or house or whatever.
Yeah.
But here's the weird thing that I thought about this scene, and I don't know if you picked up on this the first time or this time or whatever. So at the end of this, he wakes up, he's getting dressed, he's eating his breakfast, whatever.
Yeah.
He sits down then while he's eating his breakfast, and he's watching a surveillance video, and it's clearly of Becca, or at least I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, on a bench.
Right. But they don't make it clear. I don't know. Is he just rewatching an old clip? Is he watching a current surveillance clip? I don't know.
You know what?
What were your thoughts when you first saw that or when you rewatched it?
Rewatching it, I know what it is. I don't know if it was supposed to be confusing or not. I don't remember what I thought the first time I watched it.
I don't know that it's confusing. I think it's just my mind working a million miles a second and just pondering the possibilities.
To me, it's a recording because he keeps rewinding it. You know what I mean?
Right, but is it an old thing? Is it something from years ago, or is it something like recent? Like, clearly Becca's not currently in his life. We know that.
Yeah.
We don't know why. I have my theories, but is it that he's watching this clip because he's found her? She wasn't in his life and he found her, or is it that it's an old clip and he's just replaying the memories?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Don't.
I don't know.
But you do.
This is gonna be an ongoing thing. That's gonna be our thing. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so that's the weird part too, huh? Not the fact that he's cutting a Hot Pocket with a fork and knife.
Yeah, Breakfast of Champions, by the way.
Yeah, great. I love Hot Pockets.
For sure. Favorite one, go.
Classic ham and cheese.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a good one. That's my second.
Yeah. First?
Pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni pizza is okay to me.
Pepperoni pizza.
I like the ham and cheese. And then the breakfast ones are great, too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But then the other kind of callback to earlier episodes, Billy goes to see Deputy Director Susan Raynor.
Yeah.
So we saw her in episode 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We see her in episode 2, but we haven't heard from her or anything since then.
Yeah. Now she's back.
Yeah. So those were the two callbacks that I wanted to make there.
Mm-hmm.
If there were more, let us know.
Yeah.
So the episode kind of opens up after the flashback and the weird Hot Pocket breakfast scene. Billy goes to Susan to tell her about the soups and Compound V. So we now know what Compound V is.
Mm-hmm.
It amplifies their superpowers. It maybe makes them lose control of themselves. They're out of their mind. They're horny. Clearly from what happened with Popclaw.
Oh, what a way.
Or it amplifies the horniness. I don't know. But yeah, so he's going to tell her. It is blue. What's that got to do with
blue pills?
Blue liquid, though.
That's true.
And also, Viagra was like a blood pressure medication, I think, initially.
Yeah.
Before they found out it could do what it does.
Yeah, it does do what it does. I don't know what it does. I mean, I know what it does. I've never experienced it.
No. Thank
Ocho
God
Cinco,
we don't need it.
Ocho Cinco.
He popped one during the games.
Tangentially, God, this is a bad episode for us. Back on track. Back on track. Shout out to Ocho Cinco, though.
Yes. So he's going to her to tell her about Compound V and the soups and kind of use that as like evidence to say like, hey, this is what we could use to take them down, because thus far the biggest plot point surrounding Vought, Madeline, and the soups is that she's trying to get them into the military.
Yeah.
And Billy, I think, understands this and knows this. I think the public knows this because of the senator having announced it on TV and, whatever in the episode prior.
Yeah.
So he thinks, well, this will be something you can use to take them down or stop that from happening.
Well, and she actually is like, I don't mind them being, I kind of want them in the military.
Right. Which, to be honest, and we discussed this before, I would too. As a regular ass citizen,
yeah, I
would want them in the military too. But I'm also doing that under the pretense that they're good people.
Right. Not knowing who they really are. Now, I forget what Billy says to her, but he does mention like something happens and then Homelander just goes off the rails. You know what I mean? I forget what he says, but he kind of mentions why they shouldn't be in the military. He makes a really good point to it.
In this scene with Susan and Billy?
Yeah. I forget what he says, and I should have wrote it down. My apologies. I'm a lazy mother. You know what I mean? But
I don't recall.
yeah, he says something. I'll go back and watch it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Maybe we'll do like a quick follow-up vid.
Yeah.
A
follow-up.
Check it out on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok.
Yeah, he plugged it right there.
Sure did.
Way to go.
But yeah, initially she brushes it off.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care. Like you said, she wants them in the military.
She kind of doesn't believe him either.
Yeah, so he gives her photos.
Yeah. And
it's photos of Popclaw doing Compound V.
Yeah.
And A-Train doing Compound V. And she's like, man, that could be anything.
Yeah.
That could be heroin.
Yeah.
Which, that doesn't make things better.
But it doesn't, I don't think it changes too much. It's like, okay, well, those guys won't be superheroes in the 7, basically. If they did heroin, there's like, okay, we'll replace them.
Sure.
It doesn't change much.
But still, like, I don't know. Clearly, whatever he is trying to persuade her with is not working. I guess maybe, and then at this point, when he says whatever that changes the conversation, that's when she then like comes around.
She's like, I need real, actual evidence.
Right.
I need
you bring me something
V.
concrete.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll give you some funding for your operations, which is funny too because, you know, in the episode prior, they mentioned how like Billy's broke.
Yeah, he's a
essentially.
cheap bastard. Yeah.
And so she obviously knows this.
Yeah.
She knows he's out here doing whatever he's doing with whatever shoestring budget he's got.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll give you some money for your ops.
Doesn't she bring up Translucent too? Like, do you know what's going on there?
Yeah.
And he
he's
says,
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he says something.
Yeah,
really butcher,
he
like,
brushes
real
it off
smooth.
too.
I love this guy. These characters in this show are so good.
Yeah, I agree. They're written better than I thought they would be going into it.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would put this much effort and depth into the superheroes and the side characters and stuff, but they are written really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, she says, find me some evidence. We'll see what we can do. But she also makes it very clear to him, you screw me over on this, you're done.
Yeah. And she like says to him, I need you to say you understand.
Right.
And then I love it. He's like, well, see, that's why it never worked out between us. You
Right.
can't have two alphas.
Yeah.
And she just cuts him off and is like, I need you to say you understand.
Yeah, I think she even like threatens him by saying like, you know, if you screw me over, you'll be drinking your own piss in a black site somewhere.
Yeah, which is scary.
Well, yeah, because if she's like deputy director of the CIA, she can easily make that happen.
Snap out of fingers.
And it's also scary because it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in real life.
I'm not saying anything. I don't want to be put on black site.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it happens.
We're
Everybody
putting this on the internet. Ugh.
Yeah. No, nothing ever happens.
Just kidding. CIA, we love you.
I love you.
Uncle Sam, we love you. But yeah, so she wants hardcore concrete evidence of Compound V. I'm assuming she probably wants a sample of Compound V, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
You got it. That's the evidence right there. Is the Compound V for sure.
yeah. So right after this, then though, I just want to touch on this. It becomes clear then where Billy got the evidence that she was handing to her. It's from Popclaw.
Yeah.
If you recall at the end of the last episode, Frenchie and Billy, they like tell her we can help you out, but you got to help us out.
Yeah.
He calls her and is like, yo, I need something better. And she's like, I can't help you.
That's where he goes.
Well,
That's
figure
where
it
he
out.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he smells like Chinese.
What?
Chinese food, sorry.
What?
She says that's he goes to a Chinese shop.
Oh, to the noodle shop.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
smells like Chinese food.
Yeah. Well, that's what she's saying, where A-Train goes.
Yeah.
'Cause that's so the whole thing with A-Train is he's delivering the Compound V. He gets it from somewhere. He brings it from one place to the other.
Yeah. They don't say why, and I can't remember why he does this.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I'm assuming they reveal it later, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe he's just that much. He wants more money. He's just like, I'll just deliver this shit. Nobody's going to know.
Well, so Huey, Frenchie, and they're staking out this noodle shop, trying to catch A-Train or somebody or something to figure out what's up with the Compound V. I'm assuming they either know or think that it's coming from there or going to there.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I just remembered why. Okay. Back to it.
Back to reality. They notice then there's a noodle shop employee who kind of makes like a drop, like somebody accidentally bumps into him.
Yeah.
He picks up a bag. He keeps walking. I don't remember if it was Frenchie or if it was that noticed it, but they're like, okay, this is our guy. We got to follow.
I want to say it was Frenchie. He was like, he's carrying. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, something like that. They noticed like the gun.
Yeah.
So the three of them get out of whatever van they're in. I think they're back in the black van.
They're back in Frenchie's van. Yeah.
And they get out. They start trailing this guy. They're walking through the city, and they track him to this other area, which, up front seems like some sort of business or whatever, but then he goes like down in, I don't know if it's like an elevator or stairs or whatever. They're like, okay, well, we got to follow him down there.
Yep.
And it's clearly your typical like criminal hideout.
Yeah, doesn't Huey say, we got a problem, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like not into it.
So they go down there, and they're kind of just sneaking around, scoping things out. They see guards on one side of the hideout. They go to the other, and they're there looking for the compound V. They're assuming the guy with the noodle shop
drops it off there.
Maybe that's where
or picks it up.
A-Train goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're searching around. They can't find anything. Frenchie hears something.
Yeah, some it's like Japanese or
I think it's a Japanese TV theme song.
It makes me think of like an anime opening.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. But he notices it's coming from a TV in the back of the room, which has like a jail cell door on it. And so he's looking, and it's a mess in there. It's disgusting. There's like food and this and that, whatever. And it's just like a weird jail cell with this random TV playing this Japanese theme song.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what the heck? And he's inching closer, and he's looking and whatever. And then he notices there's someone in there. And it's a young lady like huddled under the table.
Just watching it, yeah.
Clearly been there for months probably.
For a while.
She's dirty. She's got mud and grease dirtiness all over her. They've trapped her in here.
Yeah.
Who knows what the hell's going on?
Who knows why? She's just imprisoned by these people. And you kind of, when you first see her, like I felt bad. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, oh no, what's going on? So Frenchie.
Yeah, you don't know what they're doing.
Frenchie kind of feels the same way that we do.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. So the other guys, they don't notice. Frenchie like sees this. They're like, yo, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. They finally come up. They see this girl in there. Huey and MM are like, whoa, let's take a step back here.
We don't know what this is.
Yeah. And I think like Frenchie motions like he's going to go let her out. And they're like, no, like chill.
Yeah.
And MM even says like, yo, this is not a rescue. Like we came for the compound. We got to go.
Right. Again, a great thing to note here is the plan is to get the compound V and get out. Right. No, don't stray from the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. So they are about to, figure out what they're going to do. And then Frenchie just goes for it. Opens the door. And as he's opening the door, the guards pop out of nowhere. How they didn't hear them or detect them before this?
I don't know, but they're like telling him no as well.
Yeah, they're like, don't let her out of there. I think they're and again, this is from the subtitles.
Yeah.
They're speaking in Filipino.
Oh.
So we know that the guys there are Filipino.
Oh, okay.
But they say, don't let her out of there. As soon as Frenchie opens the door, she blasts out. Murders all these guards in spectacular fashion.
Spectacular. She squeezes one head like just shut by putting her thumbs in his eyeballs.
Yeah, totally reminiscent of like the mountain in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, yeah.
With I don't even remember the dude's name, Pedro Pascal's character.
Yeah, Daddy. Sorry. And then
yeah.
But she twists somebody's neck.
Yeah, I think at one point she just is like repeatedly punching a dude and
through
like
his
just
chest.
through his. I think it's through his stomach.
Oh, through his stomach. Kind of the same way like Homelander was punched through that guy's.
But he just punched one time.
Yeah, no.
She's just like. Bah, 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 bah,
but it's
bah.
going through the body.
Yes. Yeah. Bloody as all hell.
Yeah.
And the guys are freaking out. Oddly enough, she doesn't attack them. She goes past them to attack the guards.
Right, because obviously they're the ones that treated her badly.
Right. So she immediately is like, okay, well, you guys were torturing me or whatever you were doing. Y'all are first.
Yeah.
But then as soon as she kills all of them, then they all freak out because they're like,
but you're missing a really cool point here.
Oh, holler at me.
She kills all these people, and then one of the guards doesn't want her to do what she's doing.
Yes, it was the noodle shop guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shoots himself.
Yeah, he sees all these other guys get dismembered and punched to death and whatever, and he's just like, nope. Boom.
Yeah, calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah, calls it a night.
Like, nope.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
So then she's like, well, I don't have to kill him, so she looks over at the boys.
Yeah. And they like narrowly escape her mauling them.
Yeah, she goes back into the room, or
it's weird. From the angle, it makes it seem as if they're trying to leave the room, but they pull like the jail cell like door.
Yeah.
And it prevents her from getting to them. But it's not clear if like they're leaving the room or if they're going into her cell.
Yeah, because she leaves. So they must be going into her cell,
I guess.
or there's another entrance to that room that we don't know about.
Right. But the whole situation was just weird when I watched it.
Yeah, I didn't really
I was
think
hoping
of that.
you maybe would know
in my mind
more clearly.
They went back to the hallway that they entered.
That's what I thought.
So maybe there's a jail cell door there too that was just wide open.
Right, but then if she was trapped in her cell in the cell,
there's got to be another exit.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she gets out of there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she could probably break through a wall. Well,
I don't know.
Not.
I don't know if she's that strong. She's clearly strong enough to punch holes into people.
Yeah.
I don't know that she's strong enough to bust through a concrete underground
Good point.
bunker.
Good point. I don't know what happened.
It's a little weird.
She got out.
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're narrowly escaping death. Some stuff happens in between there. I'll touch on it later.
Yeah.
But I want to go back then. At some point then, they get a hold of Billy. They let him know what they found. He comes.
He's like, what fucking mess happened here?
Yeah. You know, this a bunch of dead Filipino guys. And he's just like, whoa. You know? Again, not really like surprised or whatever.
Not even affected by it. Yeah.
Well, somebody had a party in here.
Yeah.
You know. But, you know, they're telling him what happened. They mention, obviously, the chick to her. And I think Frenchie, or maybe it was MM. No, MM. He finds a needle. And it's got, you know, I think just remnants of Compound V. Or maybe it's a dose of Compound V.
Right.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell. But that's a win.
Right. And also, they're like surmising then that, okay, well, they were giving it to this chick.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because she was crazy.
She was freaking nuts.
Yeah. But while they're talking about stuff and whatever, Huey gets like a text.
He's hiding it.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna put that back."
Nothing.
But Billy notices, and he's like, "Who was that from?" He's like, "Oh, nobody." He's like, "Come on, who was it?" And he tells.
No, he knows it's Starlight.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he asks. He's like, "Was it Starlight?"
Yeah.
Because no, I think doesn't he asks Huey for his phone.
That I don't remember.
I think he asks him for his phone. He puts his hand out.
He goes, Annie. Oh, Starlight. Yeah. You're right.
And so, you know, from their little like pre-date in the previous episode, she's trying to set something up for them to go on a date.
They exchange numbers.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think Billy says you're going on that date.
Yeah, Huey doesn't want to.
I usually don't go after a bloody massacre to dates.
He's like, I have a rule about not going on dates after a massacre.
Yeah.
Here's something I want to ask you about.
Talk to me.
So he's not wanting to tell Billy about this whole situation.
Yeah.
Do you think he doesn't want to go on the date because he actually doesn't want to, because he's trying to protect her? Do you think it's because he's trying to not go on a date because he don't want to besmirch his relationship with Robin? What were your thoughts?
I think it's a double whammy. I really do. I think he wants to go on the date.
Right.
He doesn't want to tell Billy about it.
Right.
Because obviously doesn't trust any Soups.
Yeah.
So puts her in danger or puts her in a bad spot. And he's going to coerce Huey to do something, which he does.
Right. When he knows Billy will use him.
Maybe a week ago Robin got blown up, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mixture of everything, to be honest. It's a good question.
So Billy tells him, "You're going on the date."
Like,
that's
whatever. Yep. Papa said so.
This next part then is like a big setup for this whole episode. Madeline is at Vought. She's initially sitting with the marketing guys, with Seth and Evan.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like figure out how they're going to spin the fact that Translucent is dead. Since
I think we forgot to mention in the last episode.
We did. Shoot.
That they found Translucent's body.
Yeah. So we forgot about.
We did. This is so much. Anyway, so in the last episode, Homelander and the Deep find a container in water, and it was like
it's the box that they had
that
skin and
Homelander can't see through,
right?
Because I forget what
it's
material
made of zinc.
Zinc. So they found zinc, and the dynamic between Deep and Homelander's layers. But anyway, they open it up to show Translucent's body to Madeline, and she's like, "What the heck?" But it's funny because it was supposed to be found because it said "for you." Maybe it said Homelander.
No. On the inside lid of the box, it said "coming for you."
Coming for you. Yeah. So it was supposed to be found. It just slowed him down. But so they now know.
And Homelander at that point, he's like, they're declaring war.
Yeah. So at this point now, Madeline and a couple people know Translucent is dead.
Right. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to spin this.
Yeah.
They mentioned a bunch of different things. Eventually, they settle on, well, he's off fighting MS-13, which, if you don't know, is like one of the biggest gangs in the world, like a real life real life gang.
Yeah.
They're like across the globe.
That's crazy.
Like the biggest gang. I think it started in like South America or Central America or something like that, but it's like spread everywhere. They're huge.
Not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on a secret mission fighting them is where they're gonna write up the story.
And I'm sure eventually they'll try to spin something else because eventually people got to be like, well, is he still fighting MS-13? I don't know. But yeah, this next piece is what sets up the whole episode and a big plot point here.
Yeah.
Madeline gets a phone call and she's like, what? How many? Okay. And we find out then she has somebody implanted in NORAD, which I don't remember what NORAD is. I think they have something to do with like aerospace and stuff like that and tracking things. Because every year for Christmas, they track where Santa is.
Oh,
yeah. The globe.
That's right. Yeah.
NORAD
okay.
tracks him.
That's
but
right.
it's some government agency that tracks stuff.
Yeah.
But she has somebody planted there that tells her there's a hijacked plane.
In the Atlantic.
Right. And there's a bunch of passengers. And immediately she starts doing her corporate mind thing. Yeah. And she's like, this is an opportunity.
Big time.
We see then that she brings in Homelander and Queen Maeve. And she's like, yo, here's the plan. You guys are going to go save this hijacked plane.
Because it's in, it's like, what's the term?
It's in international waters.
International waters. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nobody's territory.
It clear to them that they can't do it they can't act on foreign soil. So again, the seven, they are bound by some rules. Now, whether it's the rules of the government or it's the rules of Vought, they don't really make it clear, but
kind of a mixture of both, I bet.
Right. But
rules of the world.
Yeah. So she's like, they're in international waters. They're over the Atlantic. You can go save them. No one's going to, really question it. And if you can pull this off, all the better for us and getting Soups in the military. Like, no one's going to be
deny it when, like, you can do this at any time, anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, if you pull this off, we're for it.
Yep.
So big, huge setup there. And it's something that I think years removed from the situation, it's I wouldn't say okay, but people are more comfortable with, I guess, talking about terrorists and planes.
Yeah.
Because like when I was watching, I was like, it's kind of like 9/11-ish.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah.
When we get to that scene, this scene almost defines the show for me.
Really?
And made me like, okay, this show really is just a good show too.
I mean, 9/11, terrible real life tragedy. I'm assuming it probably really happened in maybe it didn't happen in The Boys. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But I mean, well, I don't
know if they mention it. Well, yeah,
but it's like,
I don't know, dude.
Ooh,
I don't know. This one I really don't remember.
Okay. But like, I think the fact that they're introducing these in the show, and I don't know if this is in the source material in the comic, but it's for millennials who went through 9/11 in real life. Like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And the fact they're putting this in the show, we're what, I think 20 some years removed from it now.
Jeez, yeah.
So kind of ballsy of them to put this in the show.
I agree.
I wonder if it's in the comic.
Well,
I don't know.
Tell us.
Yes, if you've read The Boys, the comic, let us know. Was this whole plane hijack thing in the comics as well? We're interested. I'm interested. So yeah, that's a big setup for a later scene then.
Yep.
Right. So then we go and Huey and Starlight are on their date that Billy's essentially forced him to go on.
Yeah. At a bowling alley.
Billy wants her to bug her phone.
Yes. I don't know
what it is with him and bugs.
He loves bugs.
He loves wiretapping and bugging people.
Fun fact, Ant-Man's his favorite superhero.
Really?
I don't know.
I was going to say, they don't have Ant-Man in there. I'm like, yo, you got me for a second.
Dude, I'm good. I should be an actor.
I don't know about, you're pushing it there.
Oh, fine, dude, whatever. Stomp on my dreams, why don't you?
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
No, you're right. That was mean. I apologize.
No, don't. I don't want it.
But they're on a date at a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Typical first date.
Looks like a cute date, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I went. No, I know I didn't go first date in a bowling alley with my wife. But we did shoot some pool. But a very good, simple first date.
Yeah.
So she goes up, she like throws her ball, and she's like,
in the gutter.
Yeah, it goes straight into the gutter, which is crazy because it goes straight into the gutter, but then as it gets down there, it still knocks over a couple pins somehow. Which I've seen that happen, but it's like when somebody's putting like some heat on the ball.
Well, she is a superhero, so
no, yeah, but she just like tosses it.
Cheap ass bowling alley, dude.
I don't know that whole situation. I know it's a stupid small detail.
Yeah,
that was sus to me.
It's just a cheap bowling alley, man.
Anywho,
they haven't cleaned that place in years.
But like Huey even like sarcastically is like, so you've said you've bowled before, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like surprised.
Yeah.
That she just is like,
yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm just a little rusty, you know?
Yeah. I enjoy this whole scene. I feel like this scene like is cut apart throughout the episode, if I remember correctly, right? It's not all in one
It is.
scene.
I think we're gonna just try and go through it as if it was one smooth motion.
Yeah. So we'll go through it, and this whole scene's great because he's still a little uncomfortable. One, because he's got to plant a bug on this girl that he actually really likes. Phone. Two, he's starting to like even like at one point he has like PTSD of the explosion for Translucent when somebody throws a strike really hard.
Yeah, it's literally like right after that.
Yeah,
somebody throws a strike, the clattering of the pins. They see him. He flashes back to when he hits the detonator.
Yeah,
and Translucent blows up all over him.
So then he's all of a sudden in this weird realm again, where his mind's like running to different things. And at one point, even asks like, "How is he? What's he like?" You know, and she kind of just slightly says he doesn't understand boundaries. Which was very polite of her to say because he just watches girls go pee apparently and get dressed in the bathroom. So,
but she also mentions though he's got a kid.
He's not around a lot because he usually spends his free time with his kid. Which then Huey just freaking shuts down.
Yeah, he feels super guilty about what he did.
Right, and it kind of
which I would probably react the exact same way.
I
probably would have never killed somebody.
yeah.
But if I did, and I'd found out later they had a kid.
Yeah, and like she even says like the 10-year-old or something like that. I can't remember how old. But like it's like oh man, like it's even more hitting. Like oh gosh, I know more about this kid too.
Right.
So if we're gonna go through this whole as if it's one scene. It's kind of crazy because he really shuts down, and she kind of mentions it like, "You okay?
Yeah,
you seem a little, I don't know, just different right now." Because he's been joking with her a lot beforehand when they went on the little like pre-date
kisses and prom and whatever. Yeah.
So finally he knocks out of it and straight up says like, "Are you bowling in the gutter on purpose?" Basically,
right?
And she's like, "Yeah."
You know what's crazy? Before we get into that, when he says when she mentions like, are you with me here? You know, whatever. He says, all right, I'll come clean. And that's when he's like, I think you're kind of just stroking my ego here and bowling badly on purpose.
Yeah.
You're a superhero. You got super strength. But when I watched it and he said, I'm going to come clean, I thought he was going to spill the beans.
Really?
I legit thought he was going to spill the beans.
I thought maybe he would say something happened.
No, I thought he was going to come out and be like, I'm actually spying on you, and it's because of my dead girlfriend, and yada, yada. I thought he was about to spill the beans.
Because he trusts her so much.
Right, and Starlight seemingly is the only, like, really actually good person. Like, Hugh's a close second, but even him, like, obviously he killed Translucent, not totally good.
No, he mentions that before that. Like, you're the only good person in this city.
So that's why I thought he was going to like tell her everything. Because, you know, he's having this panic attack about Translucent or whatever. I'm thinking he's about to like let the whole operation go.
Yeah.
But he just pivots into very smoothly, by the way.
Yeah.
You're playing me right now. Like let's see what you really got.
He is pretty smooth.
He is, strangely.
Yeah.
And it's like I mentioned in the first episode when he's at the tower, he is having the panic attack and then he snaps into like shaking Atrian's hand or whatever. So it's like this is his superpower without having superpowers. Like he can have these like ultra instinct focus like moments where he's panicking but then comes right back into it.
Clicks into it. Yeah. So they stop bowling. They end up she can bowl.
Yeah.
She's really good at it.
She throws a strike like it's nothing.
And probably could have broke every single pin down.
I'm sure.
She's so strong.
Yeah.
So they're done bowling. They go sit down and she does ask like, are you okay that I can like bench press you? And he's like, is that a promise? You know what I mean? Kind of like turned off by it. And that was a joke.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's okay with him. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You finish.
No,
I was just adjusting my glasses.
She just mentions like, you know, back in high school, she had a date and once they found out she was so strong, they didn't want to be with him.
Yeah.
Be with her.
Yeah.
And she's like,
dude, like ghosted her, didn't even call her back.
Yeah. And Huey makes a great point, like, well, he had a tiny dick, you know, and it's just like he, you know, that's okay. It's fine with him.
Yeah.
But what clicks him over to actually be like, hey, I still have a job here to do is he looks to the right and he sees Robin.
Yeah. He's hallucinating.
He's hallucinating Robin. And I think because he's actually falling for Starlight here.
A little bit.
So his guilt hits him with Robin and he's like, that's right. I'm not here to fall in love with her. I'm here to do something.
She like goes to the bathroom or whatever. And that's then when he like
wirelessly.
Yeah. He has some sort of device and he like bugs her phone then.
Yeah. Which it made me mad. Because I couldn't remember if he did or did not from when I watched the first time. I forgot if he actually bugged it.
He did.
And I was like, oh, he does bug it. That's right. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like you two are great together. Don't do this. You know?
Yeah. I mean, they're very much setting them up here to be. It seems like they're kind of slowly nudging them in towards like a romantic way, because this is, even though it's a date, it has platonic vibes. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're like really like romantically into each other. Starlight, I think, is more into him than he's into her for obvious reasons.
Well, and I think he can definitely tell he has a thing for her, but he doesn't want to go on a date, like you said, because of Robin. Like, he's holding back because, I mean, he just lost his girlfriend that he most likely was going to marry.
For sure.
And she blew up right in front of him.
Yeah.
You know?
So he bugs her phone, and, you know, we
That's
move
that.
on.
They kind of go into a regular day. I think it's over.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Now, the rest of the episode here, it's going to be a little out of order, but it's for a specific reason.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the female.
Okay.
And everything that happens with her, and then the other stuff that happens, because I think the flow of how it'll go is a little better.
Yeah.
So the team is trying to find the female.
Yep.
Right? Which it's weird that I don't know if it's in the scene where they had her jail cell that Billy calls her the female, or if it's a little bit later. But
yeah,
that's what they're calling her, right? And so they're trying to figure out, like, after she left her cell and whatever, where did she go? Now, unknowns to them, she has already gone and murdered someone else.
Yeah, at a nail salon.
Yeah, yeah. They find out then that when they get to the nail salon, they pose as like
FBI
or whatever. Billy uses his fake credentials. They find A-Train there. He's already like making a narrative up for them, which I don't think is also known to Vought at that point. I think he's operating
don't know either. I
think he's operating on his own to try and cover up, some tracks here.
Yeah, because he says
he doesn't want them to know that he messed up.
Drug deal go wrong or something.
Yeah,
happened.
A gang hit or something.
Yeah, it was a gang hit. Yeah.
But he's trying to find A-Train's trying to find the female. They're trying to find the.
So he knows about this female, 100%.
Right.
And I kind of like it. Like MM's like, I'm out of here. Like he gets out of there real quick because they've seen each other.
Right in the hallway in Pop Claw's apartment.
Yeah.
So they get out of there. Billy's like, all right, well, this dude can scan the whole city in a matter of minutes. He's gonna find him before we do. Frenchie's like, nah, I know where he's going. Early in the episode, there was like a little burnt up piece of paper in her cell, and I didn't know what it was when he initially looked at it, but then they reveal at this point it was a tracking, like a label, a shipping label.
Yeah.
Or no, was it?
I thought it was a
ticket. It was a ticket.
Okay, yeah.
It was a ticket for her flight, I guess, to when she either was coming to or leaving from her homeland,
original home. Yeah.
And he's like, I know where she's going. She wants to get back home.
So she's going
to Grand Central Station. The train station.
Yeah.
So they start to track her. They get there. They're splitting up. They're going like to different floors and whatever. So they're separate. It's Frenchie,
MM and Frenchie.
and Huey.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, and not Huey. Frenchie, MM, and Billy.
Yeah.
Because Huey's on the date with Starlight.
Yeah.
So they're tracking around, whatever, blah, blah. They focus in on Frenchie. He's looking around, and he hears something again.
And it's the anime opening song.
I don't know if it's the same one.
It's the same one.
Is it? Okay.
Because the video from the TV was the same video.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he hears it, and he's looking. It's like an electronics store or whatever. He just sees the TV in the back of the store playing this, and he kind of remembers it. He's going in. He's
already
watching.
Texting Billy text store.
Yeah, he's like, yo.
He knows.
She's got to be somewhere around here. He doesn't see her in the store, and it's a small store.
Very thin.
Very thin.
Yeah.
He goes back. He's watching the TV show for a little bit, and as he is about to turn around, he sees her under the table that's right behind him, and he's like, "Whoa,
yeah,
I'm not here to hurt you."
He's trying to be real nice.
Yeah,
and you actually
tells her a little story.
This story's crazy sad.
Crazy story. I have a theory though, you would know. I don't think it was real.
So you think all his stories about his dad are fake?
I don't know if all of them are fake. I think this one was fake.
You don't think so? Okay.
So I don't want to get too into the story, but essentially he tells her that he knows what she's going through because he was ripped away from his home as a young boy.
Dad kidnapped him.
Yeah. And he's trying to make her relate, to make her feel safe, make her feel comfortable, whatever. He shows her on his leg that he's got cigarette burns.
Yeah,
right.
because the story was they used to go walk every night and with cigarettes.
His dad would smoke a cigarette,
but then he would put them out on his leg. Yeah.
He doesn't mention specifically that his dad puts them out, but he's making it assumed that.
Yeah, he goes and
put
then
them out on my leg.
and just lifts them up.
Right. Here's why I think that makes me think it was a lie, though, because if those were cigarette burns from when he was a child, like he would still have scars for sure, but these looked like more recent cigarette burns.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the story was fake. I think he was just trying to tell her that to coerce her into coming with her.
Yeah, because he wants to take her without hurting her.
Right. And there's a scene earlier where he gets a device from Sherry, or Cherry.
Shaddy.
That is like a smoke bomb that's supposed to knock her out.
Yeah.
He initially is like, has it. He shows her he's not going to use it. He's trying to comfort her or whatever. Something startles her on the TV. She busts out of there.
Yeah. And since she knocks him over and runs out and gone, and then Billy and show up just a little too late.
Right. And they're pissed because
he didn't smoke bomb him.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I know you're going to say. You go.
This leads into, again, Frenchie didn't follow the plan, and it pisses off.
Right. He's a very precise guy.
Yeah. And he's like, you didn't follow the plan, you didn't smoke her, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a little bit more about the Mallory situation.
Right.
Which is where they were tracking Lamplighter, and Frenchie didn't follow the plan, and that's what got Mallory's grandkids killed.
Right. He, I guess, set ablaze the place where they were, and it killed them.
Yeah.
And that whole situation, it makes Frenchie kind of more remorseful again, but also mad and upset that MM's even bringing it up. MM's like, I can't work with this guy.
I'm out.
He's done. He's ready to be out of there.
One of the best scenes of the show. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. Billy he's like, no, come back. And MM's like, no, like, I'm not doing this. He like tries to leave a couple of times.
Yeah.
This is what reels him back in somehow, though. And I don't want to go into detail about it because I want you guys to actually go and watch it.
Yeah.
And react to it on your own.
But basically,
he starts mentioning Spice Girls.
Yeah, he basically is saying we're the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Apart, we do nothing. Together, we're awesome.
Right. Right.
And for some reason,
it works.
It works. And even what's funny is you see this moment. MM's like, he has the worst hype up speeches.
Yeah.
And Frenchie goes, he really does. And you see another connection right back to but it worked because they're now they're talking shit on him together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's like MM really seemed like he was like done.
Mm-hmm.
The Spice Girl pep talk brings him back in. And I'm wondering here, like, it's just like Billy's superpower without having a superpower is his power of persuasion.
Yeah, he just can coerce anybody.
He can charm people, whatever, in very unconventional ways that shouldn't work, but
they do.
But still do.
Yeah.
So it's just funny for that.
Yeah, he's freaking amazing. That whole speech is phenomenal.
Yeah, you need to go and watch it. He makes little anecdotes that are like don't really seem to be going anywhere, and then you think he's going to circle back and tie it in, and he does, but very poorly.
Yeah.
But it still works.
But it works, and it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, so they go off, and they're chasing her again.
Yeah. They find her down in the subway then, and A-Train finds her as well. She's like on the train tracks.
Yeah.
A-Train zips by and grabs her. They notice it. I don't think like the people notice that she got taken. It's weird. She's running through and jumps on the tracks. I don't even know if the public notices her jumping on the tracks. Nobody's,
I think
reacting.
I feel like there was some reaction. Like they're like, "What the heck's going on?"
But then she disappears because A-Train takes her.
Yeah, so she's running one direction. A-Train's coming the other way.
Right.
And pulls her, and somehow they do a cool little like CGI thing of everybody pretty much standing still as he's running with her.
Right.
But
right.
The boys kind of notice it, but my favorite thing is she's grabbed by him but not affected and comes around and like rips like at his face.
Right. Like she's moving with him at whatever super speed he's going, but she still has enough awareness to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And she scratches him. He drops her.
Yeah.
The boys notice it. They start going the direction because it's like kind of like
it's pretty
off the tracks.
Down. Yeah.
But it's further down. And as they're running down towards her.
This is rough.
Yeah. A-Train picks her back up, punches her like through like some cement walls and shit.
Yeah.
And then just grabs her and just boom, 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 boom,
And
boom, 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 boom.
and
Super speed, mashing her head into a wall.
Your boom boom's not even fast enough to keep up. It's just like, yeah. It is ridiculous.
And the thing is, like, she's like taking it. Like, she's definitely hurting for sure.
Yeah.
But like anyone else, their skull would have been crushed. They'd have been dead.
Yeah, and at one point Billy's like, "That's it. She's a goner. Like, there's nothing we can do." Because he's like, at some point, this is going to
kill her.
Yeah,
or at the very least, get her out of there and deal with her some other time.
Yeah. So, my boy Frenchie,
he's got a heart.
He ain't no dummy.
He wants to try and save her. Billy tries to stop her, and then he's like, "No, I'm taking it in my own hand."
And he goes, "Hey, everybody, look, it's A-Train. It's A-Train over here." So the whole crowd comes running over, and he's in shock, so he has to look up for a second, which gives her a moment to kind of punch him off to the side and get out of there.
Yeah. And everybody's like, "Oh, can we get a selfie?" And he's like, "Sure.
I could take a few."
Here's my thing. If I'm A-Train, I've got, my career on the line. Yes, I won this race, whatever, but I'm still kind of on thin ice. I'm not letting this chick go. And he's just like, kind of panics a little bit. He goes, all right, I'll do the selfies.
He ain't that smooth. All he's got to do is go, "I'm actually on a mission right now, guys."
Right. Could have delivered that very easily and be like, zoom, I'm back to beating the crap out of this girl.
So instead, he's doing selfies. The boys are able to track her down.
Yeah.
They track her down to like a dead end.
Yeah, it's like an underground tunnel within the subway. She can't get out. And it's kind of funny then, like, I don't know if I think Billy has the smoke bomb at this point.
Yeah.
He's about to let it off on her, and Frenchie, like, stops.
He's like, "No,
let me try this." And he's, like, trying again to, like,
here you go,
nicely coerce her and whatever. Yeah. And it seems like it might kind of work. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
She might be down to just chill, whatever. Nah,
she jumps on him.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I thought, whoop, he's about to die.
Yep. Goodbye, Frenchie. We loved you.
Yeah.
But they throw the smoke bomb over right next to her and Frenchie.
They both get knocked out.
They get knocked out. So again, this is all happening throughout the episode. There's other stuff happening in between, but
for the
sake of the pod,
we had to do it as one kind of constant stream of events.
Yeah. And now before we go into the other event that I think you have that's coming up next, that's super important, I want to come into a small side story.
Tell me.
Of this show.
Tell me.
So early on in the episode, the Deep is with a therapist. And it's kind of funny, so I'm not going to go deep into this whole thing. It's just like,
he's talking about his problems.
Yeah. But there's a clock ticking, meaning this is just a waste of time, basically. There's a clock ticking in the background. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't.
But yeah, so it's like, basically, this is a waste of time. But the therapist is helping him. The Deep comes to his own conclusions with it, and the therapist just pretty much is like, "Yeah, you're right. What do you want to do?" You know what I mean?
Right.
So then later on in the episode, the Deep pulls up the courage to go talk to Madeline. "I want to help these dolphins at
Ocean World, something like that,
because they don't feed them enough. They're
mistreating them.
They're great people. They're, matter of fact, hilarious.
Yeah, but she also reminds him
he's making money from.
Yeah, he's like the face of Ocean World.
Yeah, because at one point I think at Ocean World you actually see like a video playing and he's in it.
It's during
it's a commercial.
It's a commercial during Huey and Starlight's date.
Yeah,
he's like, "Come to Ocean World."
Yeah, so this again another side story happening throughout the whole episode. So then after all this happens, he decides to take matter in his own hands.
Yeah. Bust the dolphin out, Free Willy style.
Takes him in a freaking van, has the dolphin hanging, and this is where it starts to hit that he can talk to these animals.
Right. We don't hear what the animal's saying.
Yeah, we just hear dolphin noises.
Yeah. But he's talking to them. He's like spraying it down with water and whatever. He's like, "I'm going to set you free of the Atlantic Ocean."
And so it's making its noises. And at one point, he's like, "Well, let's not talk about that right now."
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the dolphin wants to be romantic with the Deep.
Yes.
And he's like, fine. If I just touch it for a little bit right now, are you going to be okay? And like makes a happy noise.
Right.
But then the cops are chasing him.
Yeah, which I'm wondering, were the cops chasing him because they just knew somebody broke into the aquarium to steal this dolphin, or did they know it was the Deep?
I think they just wanted to stop somebody from stealing the dolphin.
Okay.
And so the police car gets in front of the van that has the dolphin in it, which is just on a little swing in the back.
Yeah, it's not secured.
No.
By any means.
No, you can even see it like swinging back and forth as it's going. Pulls in front of the van. The Deep has to slam on the brakes, and it goes into slow-mo, and the dolphin flies past the Deep's face, goes out the window, flies over the cop car. You're already thinking this thing's dead.
Oh, for sure. It goes through the windshield, and I'm like, that probably killed it.
Yeah, and it rolls on the ground for a bit, but then a freaking 18-wheeler truck comes around this way and just runs over the dolphin.
Yeah, So I probably shouldn't have.
You laughed so hard.
I laughed so hard at that part.
Yeah.
So hard at that part.
I know you did.
And it's funny because immediately I thought, you know what? This was a hilarious part for me. And because of other shows we've watched and conversations we've had, I'm thinking immediately Billy probably hated this part.
Yeah. It's funny.
Because Billy doesn't like when animals get hurt in movies and TV shows.
People can die in movies, and I'm cool. But when animals get hurt, this poor dolphin did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. And now we know it is speaking to the deep, so it has even more of a personality.
Right, right.
And granted, it must be a really horny dolphin.
For sure.
But yeah, it just gets run over for no reason. I felt so bad. Now, I did laugh a little bit, but not anywhere near as hard as Alex probably did. But what a great random side story. It's just the deep is just stupid. Doesn't do anything right.
No.
It is a piece of dirt.
Honestly, I shouldn't, because he's a horrible, horrible, horrible person, especially for what he did to Starlight. I do feel like a little bit bad for him.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of this show, of this episode with him, is you're like, he is a jerk, but I'm starting to feel a little bad for he's obviously just, nobody cares about him.
Right, right.
But anyway, so I just had to throw that in because it was a funny side story.
I was going to mention it a little bit later, but I'm glad we brought it up now.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man.
So then let's go back to the other huge setup for the episode.
Yeah.
Right? And again, it works out better to do it this way because of how chopped up it was in the episode. When you're watching it, it's fine. But when we're having a conversation about it, it makes better sense to just do it
this way.
One stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
So earlier we find out, the hijacked plane. Madeline sends Homelander and Maeve to go after it. Now, there's an important detail in the conversation that they have about the terrorists. She says there's 3 terrorists on the airplane, right? So we cut to the airplane. The passengers are all there. They're panicking. The terrorists have like box cutters and whatever. The one has like a gun.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't remember. But they're there, and we just see like towards the middle of the plane, the plane door just bursts open. One of the terrorists sucked out immediately.
Out. Yep.
Which I'm honestly surprised like more didn't fly out, but he gets sucked out.
Yeah.
Maeve walks in like no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm here to save the day.
What I do?
I think she even like picks up the one terrorist like by his neck like he's like just nothing. Super breaks his neck, and he's dead.
He goner.
And then she looks, there's another terrorist there. He's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And Queen Maeve is just like kind of squaring up a little bit. Over her shoulder,
laser beam.
Demolishes him. Like, just goes right into his chest. And she looks back, and Homelander's there just like, that's what I do.
That's who I am.
And they're kind of like...
She gives a little smirk. They're putting on a show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they had a game plan, if they were like scoping out the plane before they got in there or whatever, but they knew how things were going to go down.
Yeah.
So they kill these terrorists. Now, again, I brought up the point that Madeline told them there's 3 terrorists. First one got sucked out of the door. Second one, Maeve snapped his neck.
Yep.
Third one gets laser visioned.
Yep.
So all is good. The crowd is cheering.
They save the day.
Yeah,
they're chanting Homelander.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like going back to last episode when Homelander was like telling the cops like, you guys are the real heroes. He kind of does a similar thing with the crowd here.
You survived. Yeah.
You survived this. You guys did the real work here.
Yeah.
Like you guys should be proud of yourselves.
It's all fake bullshit. Yeah.
Right. And like Maeve is there and they're talking with the crowd or whatever. And everyone's just super happy. And I'm even as I'm watching something, this can't be it.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not.
No, not at all. We're nowhere near the end of it.
No.
So Maeve has her head like on the captain's door to be like, hey, Captain, like kind of let him know.
Like, we're good.
It's over.
Yeah.
But she's not hearing anything.
No.
Yeah.
She opens the door. 4th terrorist.
Yep. One of the co-pilot's dead.
Yeah, I think he slit his neck.
Yeah. And then there's a pilot and there's a gun to the pilot's head from the other terrorist, right?
Right.
Yeah. So basically, it ain't over yet.
Right. And I think they even try to like tell him like, whoa, calm down. Like this is over. Like you don't want to do this, or blah, blah.
Yeah. And then he ends up shooting the pilot.
Yeah. Straight through the back of the head, straight through the front windshield of the plane.
Yeah. So then that kind of pisses Homelander off. So he decides to kill him with laser vision.
But he kind of like loses control. He doesn't like the other guy was super precise. He just right in his chest.
So I think when he killed the pilot, the plane dipped a little.
You're right.
So it was like
You're right.
And with the suction of the air for the bullet,
True.
it kind of made him lose control of his laser vision, and it goes right across the control board of the plane.
Yeah. So both pilots are now dead.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth terrorist dead. Great. But now the plane is screwed up. I don't know if Maeve like has some airplane experience. She like puts on the
calls
headset
like,
and she's like ACT 74 whatever blah blah, and she's like the controls, the communications comms are down.
Yeah.
Whatever. And she's like, "Do you know how to fly a plane?" He's like,
"Wouldn't
no,
matter if I did."
Yeah, I mean,
and he's all nonchalant. Like he's just like
she's worried.
Yeah.
He's just like,
he's just like, what? He doesn't.
What are we gonna do?
He doesn't care.
Not at all.
He's just like, wouldn't matter if I did, Maeve. Like I can't fly it.
So then Maeve is like, well, we got to do something.
Yeah. So she starts coming up with ideas. One of her ideas is, okay, you take every single person out of this plane, fly them down the ground, and come back.
Not even. That was like the last resort.
Okay.
The first thing she's like, well, just go under the plane and like
lift it up.
fly it up.
Like how you would pick Superman.
From what? I can't. There's no floor. I can't push up.
Yeah.
I'm just in the air.
So then she says something else.
Then she's like, well, why don't you hit it up?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll just go through the fucking plane.
He goes, with the speed, I either topple it over and go ass up, or I go right through the floor of the plane.
Yeah.
And it's like, so we now kind of understand his powers. Like Superman, we know could fly underneath it and probably control
Superman can just fly however he wants to fly.
I still feel like Homelander could have done this, but
I think he could have too.
Yeah, but at this point, he was just like, "We're done here. There's nothing we can do." And then, like you said, then like they're
then
going
she's
through,
like, "Well,
grab
fly everybody." And he's like, 123 times?
Yeah, come on, Maeve, that ain't realistic.
Yeah,
and it's like, so he doesn't even want to try.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. So then they're walking out the back. He's like, "I'm gonna go." He goes, "I'm just gonna go check on something back here. Oh, and everything's great, guys. Don't you worry." Like he's real like
right. They close the door so the people can't see the cockpit and the fact that everyone there is dead.
Yeah.
But the plane's getting more turbulent.
Yeah.
They're like, "What's happening?"
It's still going down. Like,
yeah. And they're like, what's up?"
So they're yelling, "You're leaving us. You're leaving us." And he's like, Nah, I'm checking out the back here real quick.
Yeah.
And Maeve's kind of frozen. So he's like, "Maeve, come on, let's go." And the one person goes, "They are leaving us."
Yeah, they get wise.
And it gets freaking hectic.
Yeah, people start getting unbuckled. There's turbulence. People are flying up into the ceiling and whatever. They're all freaking out.
And then they start coming to the back after Homelander.
Yeah.
And his eyes started glowing. He's like, "I'll burn every single one of you."
Yo, he got crazy.
Yeah. This is your boy.
It is. He's still my favorite. Even after all this.
This is your boy.
He's still my favorite so far.
And what really gets me, and I'm sorry if you
No, go ahead.
What really gets me is Maeve finally, like, she just caves and she grabs. You see this mother and daughter on the plane a few times.
Yeah.
Looks like the only mother-daughter on the plane. So she grabs the mother and the daughter. And
like, just these two.
We've got to take these two. And you know what he goes? Why? So he can tell everybody else that we couldn't save anyone else?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He shuts
right in
that
front
down
of their face.
Right. So everybody knows now Homelander's a dick.
Yeah.
And they're just, I think they're all kind of in shock because to them, he's like this perfect superhero, can't do anything wrong. Yeah. And they're seeing like, yo, he's not only a dick, but he's willing to let us all die.
We're all gonna die.
And or kill us all.
Yeah. So, but he now, because he shows off the side of him, he has to let them all die as well.
Here's what I was going to say, and it's a theory. I know I go into theory land all the time.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is he like reacting this way because he's on Compound V? Maybe there's like a formulation of Compound V that he's taking that, is obviously enhancing his powers, but also still making him lose his mind a little bit. Is it because of that, or is he really just that much of an asshole?
I'm not going to tell you. I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
You don't know.
I don't know.
But you know.
But I know. But yeah, so he turns down the daughter and the mother and everything, and Maeve still like kind of doesn't want to leave these people. But we now know, like, if this plane goes down and she's in it, she'll die in it too.
Right. He says, don't die with them.
Yeah. Which is like, damn.
Yeah. He's like, I'm out. Like, I'm piecing.
They're going to die.
You want to stay with them? You going to die too.
Yeah. So finally she leaves with him. Plane goes down. And like, yeah, he's holding her in the air. And you see the plane just going down. And at some point, you see somebody jump out the plane. And it's like kind of sad, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, this scene kind of really defined the show for me, to how serious they can get.
Right.
To how evil the Supes really are.
Right.
And to now we know, I mean, Homelander was a dick. But now we know.
Huge dick.
Yeah. And it's
Drake leak type level dick.
Whoa, they.
Ooh, pause.
With the times though, dude. Way to be relevant. But yeah, so I'll mention like the whole thing later. But yeah, it's just what a wild, intense scene.
Yeah,
and I think maybe you're right. Maybe partially because of 9/11.
I think for millennials it hits different.
Yeah, it was just like, but then when he's just like, I'm not gonna be able to save them all. Just let them all go down.
Right.
And then tells her don't die with him. It's like, man, he doesn't care about the people at all.
Now here's the thing. I'm not trying to defend Homelander.
Oh God. Sounds like it.
But he's kind of right. From his perspective, if he wants to continue doing what he does, he can't let anyone here survive after revealing that he's an asshole. And he's willing to, he can't let anyone survive.
I think, well, okay, when you're looking into, one, after being an asshole, two, this whole thing was to get them in the military, and he wasn't able to save all of them.
Right.
So if he comes out even with just a mother and daughter, that's not gonna,
torpedoes the whole thing.
Might make him look okay, like, hey, he tried, but it doesn't help the military thing at all.
Right.
So as much as he's crazy and he acts really weird sometimes, he's not dumb.
No, not at all.
Dumb at all.
Not at all. Plane goes down. You know, everybody's dead, presumably.
Yeah.
I hate to say this. I hope they're all dead because if not, like they are hurting.
Yeah. For sure.
But then, you know, towards the end of the episode, then because we're kind of going a little bit out of order, we start to see then there's a crew that is starting to find pieces of the plane. Like I think you see like the tire washed ashore. You start to see the tail of the plane somewhere, I think, getting carted off or whatever.
Maeve's walking along and sees the doll that the little girl was holding.
Yes, yeah, it washes up on the beach. And there's news teams there like crowding around, like telling everybody like, oh, we finally found out what happened. Not that we found out what happened to the plane, but we see that the plane went down and, you know, everybody's dead and whatever. This is where the shit gets crazy.
Yeah.
At least, you know, from a Homelander perspective.
He's not dumb.
No.
He just does. He's so good at this.
And Madeline is watching this on TV, by the way.
Yeah.
She seems a little bit worried because she knows the implications of if people find out what really happened, the military thing's done.
Yeah, and she's not happy about it. She's like, man, we had a shot here.
Right.
So yeah, they're doing the news thing, and off to the side of the news anchor is Maeve and Homelander just kind of sitting there watching.
Yeah, they're just on the beach watching the cleanup crew.
Yeah, they're not really on the news yet.
No, they're just kind of in the background, and the news guy mentions like, you know, everybody on the plane died, and Homelander just goes, they didn't have to die.
Yeah,
like very like regal superhero like you know type or whatever.
And then all of a sudden it starts to tear up.
Yeah, playing it up real good.
Yeah, and he's telling him, he's like, if we could have been there, you know, if we didn't have to follow these rules, we could have saved everybody on that plane.
Yeah, he even says like if NORAD would have tipped us off even a few minutes earlier, none of those people would have died or whatever. So I'm also thinking then, well, the guy that Madeline had planted in NORAD, he's probably like, well, this bridge is burnt.
Yeah.
You know, you're throwing me under the bus here.
Yeah.
I did tip you off.
I did tip you off, but nobody else knows that.
And he goes into this like grand speech.
Oh yeah. So go to your congressman, go to your Senate, let
us get involved in the military.
Yeah, they'll listen to you, the people. And he's very like a politician.
For sure.
Yeah. And God bless America. You know,
and even the crowd there, they're starting like chant Homelander's name and all this. They're like,
At one point, so he goes through his all, and one goes, "We see you, Homelander," and he goes nuts. He goes, "I see you."
Yeah, he's always playing it like putting the praise back on the people who he's with, whether it was the cops, whether it was the people in the plane, you know, the cleanup crew. He's always making sure that he's not getting the shine, or not all of the shine, that the people around him are getting the shine.
Because that gives him more. Yeah, because that gives him more of that shine anyway.
Yeah.
Now all they do is love him, you know?
Right. And the episode ends then with, you know, essentially he's now rallied the troops. Madeline sees what's happening on the TV.
She's got a big smile on her face.
She's like, damn, that's my boy there.
That's my son, boyfriend guy.
Yeah.
But even at one point, which was really dark, he goes, right, Maeve?
Yeah, and she's just like...
She just stands there and nods and like, yep.
Yeah. Because she clearly feels bad about the situation.
Maeve is a great character in this show. Just...
Yeah.
You can tell, obviously, she has some kind of moral compass. It's just not great.
And you know what? I did say all the Supes are terrible people. And while I wouldn't say Maeve is a terrible person, outside of Starlight, she's probably the next like most good soup, of all the ones in the 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, heck of a way to end the episode. Overall, great episode. Hit on so many different levels.
Yeah. A lot happened.
I'm fully in now. I'm fully in on the show.
Got him.
Yeah. We got him.
Got him.
But yeah, I think the next episode is, past the halfway point here. I think it's just going to continue to ramp up because obviously if the way TV shows work as they normally should, by the end, we're getting some huge, moment that happens. So I think the trajectory of the show, while it's been going up, I think it starts to take a sharp turn up here.
Exponential growth.
Whoa, business lingo.
Mathematicals, baby. Oh,
yeah.
Man. But yeah, no, it gets better and better. This show is very good.
Yeah.
Obviously why I kept trying to get you to watch it.
For sure.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the episode?
I'm going to mix in my favorite and my least favorite. You ready?
Sure.
My favorite part was the plane scene.
Yeah.
My least favorite part
was
the plane scene.
Yeah. I can understand why.
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Such a it was so important to especially Homelander and just the show in general to kind of get you really where we're at with these people.
Right.
But also like it sucked to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think my favorite part of the show was kind of just the connection that Frenchie was trying to make with the female.
Yeah.
Because you're getting more of him. I think of all the people on the crew, we've gotten to know Frenchie the most.
Yeah.
So far. Which I want to find out more about Billy for sure. We get a little bit of, his flashback with Becca.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to know more about MM. He seems like a cool character.
His story is very good too. Yeah.
But yeah, the connection that Frenchie was trying to build and like all his little, scenes and stuff. I really like him. He's not my favorite. Homelander's still my boy.
Damn,
but
bro.
Frenchie's probably a close second.
Good.
My least favorite, definitely the plane scenes.
Yeah.
Because again, just everything that happened in real life, it makes that different. Like I think if you're somebody who's younger, you're a Gen Xer or whatever the next
whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't go through that in real life. You didn't live that, or if you did, you were just like a baby or
just
a small child,
and
you didn't go through 9/11. But
Yeah.
as a millennial, that like I was in high school when it happened, and becoming a person, a young adult, I guess,
Yeah.
or a old teenager.
It definitely hit. Yeah.
Hits different.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, small screen scoop.
I didn't have any.
So I have one here.
Okay.
The female is what they call the chick who was imprisoned in the underground, bunker thing.
Yeah.
And the title of the episode is The Female of the Species.
Yeah.
That is her character's name in the comics. Her name in the comics is The Female of the Species.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have any context as to why. Again, if you read the comics, let us know. We want to know more.
Yeah. Just
Don't spoil anything for us.
Very much thing like don't spoil anything, but yeah.
But let us know, like, can you give us a spoiler-free reason as to why that's her name?
Yeah.
Let us know. But yeah, that's the one that I had here. But yeah, again, great show. I'm loving it more and more each episode. I can't wait to see what happens next. And I'm excited for what's to come in the later seasons, too. We're in season 1.
Oh, boy.
I've heard nothing but good things about the show overall, and I've heard just gets crazier.
There's some crazy
every season.
Stuff.
But I just don't know how. Like, there's got to be a dip. There's got to be somewhere where, like, the show goes down. This can't be just, like, constant rocket up of craziness. Or maybe it can. I don't know.
Yeah, it's you're gonna have episodes where you need to really get story plot, so like sometimes it slows a little, but then the next episode you're getting something wild.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But yeah, so that's the episode here, episode 4, halfway through season 1. Let us know what your thoughts were. Couch Crew. You know what? We've been neglecting to mention.
You're the Couch Crew.
You're the Couch Crew.
Yeah.
You are the fandom
CC.
of the Small Screen Couch Commentary Podcast.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought. Let us know some other small screen scoops. Hit us up on our socials. Again, we have full episodes on YouTube.
Yep.
We really want you to subscribe on YouTube.
We do.
There's something that's going to help us really there if we can meet a certain milestone on YouTube. So if you have a YouTube, a Gmail even, that's all you need to create a YouTube account. Go on there, subscribe to us. Hell, even if you don't have one, make one. Help us out here.
Smart.
Obviously, also hit us up on our other socials, TikTok, Instagram. I think we have probably our biggest fan base, if you will, on Facebook.
Call them a following.
Following, yes. I like that.
Yeah.
But search for us everywhere. Small Screen Couch Commentary on all the social platforms. You should be able to find us by now. Our episodes are going live every Sunday. I think what our plan is right now is to continue to release 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
Just to get through things and get caught up on things, because aside from The Boys, there's also Gen V, which neither of us have watched.
I've not seen Gen V. I don't know why. I just haven't.
For as much shit as you gave me, I thought you would have been on that.
I know. There was a time in my life where I just stopped watching stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But that'll be cool, though, because then we'll both be able to experience it for the first time.
Maybe, we can see what we pick apart. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
But yes, follow us on the socials. Watch us on YouTube. For sure, check us out on there. Subscribe. But listen here as well. And give us some feedback. What do you like? What don't you like?
What do you want? What don't you want?
What do you want? Exactly. I feel like I was like Uncle Sam. They're like, I want you.
You did with the American hat on?
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on, bro. Spot on.
I didn't even think of that until after.
Yeah.
But yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.